Time now for French Connections, our weekly look at the intricacies of life here in France with Solange Mougin. Hi, Solange.
Hi, Jeannie.
This week, you are walking us through the traditional French Christmas meal.
Yeah, it is a big family meal that's generally on December 24th, but in some homes it is on the 25th, and it often lasts for hours with multiple courses and a significant budget. The average cost is thought to be around 100 to 130 euros for the meal. Now, inflation has made families more cautious, but it is traditionally an exceptional festive moment. The first course is often and has long been champagne accompanied by hors d'oeuvres or finger food.
Des canapés au cresson, des canapés, des canapés, des canapés. Il n'y a que des canapés pour commencer.
Next up, there are often starters. Here, many French families, well, they go all out, serving luxury items such as foie gras. 70 to 80% of its sales are around this time of year. Now, there's also smoked salmon, shellfish, and oysters are a common favorite.
C'est souvent assez simple parce qu'il y a les gens mangent beaucoup pour les fêtes. Quelques huîtres, quelques crevettes, et puis ça va.
I love shellfish. And then after all of that, of course, comes the main dish.
Well, not yet. In some households, yes, but in others, we are not there yet. For many, they also serve escargots or snails, which are often roasted with garlic butter. And then in some families, they have boudin blanc or white sausage. So the month of December, it is pedal to the metal time for those in both industries.
C'est 75% de mon chiffre d'affaires de l'année qui est réalisé en décembre.
La difficulté, c'est que c'est une période très courte. Donc pendant cette période-là, on doit bien évidemment recruter le personnel, le former pour qu'il soit opérationnel le jour J.
Then there is the pièce de résistance, or the main dish, and here it's often a bird of some sorts.
Un banquet porte-bonheur pour le solstice d'hiver. Sous nos yeux, le spectacle de la vie qui renaît, les jours rallongent, enfin pas forcément pour tous les volatiles, non. Les dindons de la farce, on les connaît. On a coutume de les mitonner dans l'allégresse et des...
Des marrons, du foie gras, du foie de volaille, le tout recousu et repassé au four.
Now, not all households are willing to stuff a turkey or cook all day, but there is actually a big market for ordering out, going to restaurants, or buying pre-made frozen food here in France.
All right, now some households then continue on with a cheese platter, as this is France, of course, but really the star of the meal is the dessert, which is often called la bûche de Noël.
It is indeed. In France, about 8 million of these Yule Log desserts are sold every year, mostly at Christmas time. Now, la bûche, which actually means log, it is a relatively new dessert dating just to the 19th century, but it is steeped in an old pagan tradition of burning a big piece of firewood on the winter solstice.
Chez les Celtes, elle devait brûler dans l'âtre durant toute la nuit de Noël pour célébrer le soleil. Une tradition reprise par les chrétiens. Au XXe siècle, les cheminées se faisant rares, un pâtissier eut l'idée de faire des bûches symboliques. Le pâtissier est aujourd'hui oublié. Les bûches à déguster, elles, ornent toujours nos tables de fête.
There are very many different regional traditions as well. Tell us about those.
There are very many regional specific sweets and treats. For example, near the Belgian border, there is the cougnou, which is a brioche shaped in the form of a baby Jesus. There's also the bredele in Alsace, which are spice cookies. Another more common one, a very common one, is les papillotes, or these wrapped covered chocolates. They often have a message inside. Not to mention one of my favorites, les marrons glacés, or candied chestnuts. They're often from Ardèche. Now, in Provence, there is a tradition of 13 desserts, les 13 desserts, and they generally include raisins, nuts, candied fruit, calisson, and nougat, but not only.
En Provence, on mange 13 desserts. On mange 13 desserts le soir de Noël avec un peu n'importe quoi dedans, mais c'est pas grave.
Là, il y a des noix, des noisettes et peut-être de la crème brûlée.
Ok, crème brûlée, t'es fou.
One of the traditional desserts has a fun name. It's called la pompe à l'huile, or the oil pump, because it has olive oil in it. The superstition is that you actually have to, if you cut it, rather than breaking the bread apart, well, then you have 12, if you cut it, you have 12 months ahead of bad luck.
Oh, okay, don't do that then. Does the Christmas Eve meal have a name?
Well, in Provence, it is actually called le gros souper, the big supper, which is actually a misnomer, as it is supposed to be a light white meal. The table is set with 3 white tablecloths for the Trinity, and there is also a setting for the poor, ou la place du pauvre. This is a lost tradition where anyone can knock on your door and ask to be seated at the meal. Now, elsewhere in France, this dinner is often called le réveillon de Noël, which are our words du jour. Now, people often use the word réveillon as well to speak about New Year's Eve. It means a festive meal often shared between friends and family.
Okay, speaking of family, the meal is not always or for everyone a particularly enjoyable time.
It is not. When I asked colleagues about their Christmas traditions, many people actually said that I should talk about this concept of l'oncle raciste, or the racist uncle. This is a code word of sorts for the heated discussions, the divergent worldviews that can come up around the dinner table.
On contrôle les thèmes de discussion. Petit débat dans certaines familles, on aime bien un petit peu de débat, mais pas trop. Pour éviter d'avoir ces problèmes, on va parler, par exemple, de bouffe.
Oui, finalement, ne parlons que de bouffe et signons l'armistice familial, au moins jusqu'au dessert.
Now, the Christmas meal is not always an easy one, but it is a rare moment to be together, to celebrate one another, and also to celebrate food as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Solange. And happy holidays to all of you if you celebrate them. Now, remember, if you want to get a closer look at any of the French connections, you can always check them out on our website, france24.com. Or if you have your own questions about France or the French, you can reach out to Solange Mougin on social media.